Hello! Happy Wednesday, everyone! Welcome to another fun time with Family Connection with Ava and Amelia, aka... Can you help her with her?
Yes.
Amelia, also known as Rainbow Dash. Yay! All right, let's sing our How Are You song. Join us. This is my How Are You song. This is my How Do You Do song. And I'm so glad we are here. This is my I Miss You song. This is my High Five to You song. And I'm so glad we are here. And you know, Church and Billy will come to visit. And I'm so glad we are here. One more time. This is my How Are You song. This is my High Five to You song. I'm distracted.
Glad
We are here. Stop running. This is my I Miss You song. This is my High Five to You song. And I'm so glad we are here. And you know, Church and Billy will come to visit. And I'm so glad we are here. Yes, I'm so glad we are here. During that song, you didn't see it, but Amelia and our cat Gigi were racing around the house, and it was, like I said, very distracting. I'm sure they're having fun though. So that's good. How is everyone out there today? We're so glad that you could join us. Yay! So today and this week we are talking about protests.
Gigi's coming.
What a protest is, why people protest, maybe a protest in the Bible, and we're all glad to have you guys joining us. So before we do anything else, I want to know what's outside your window. So you go check out your windows, we'll check out ours, and we'll report back. So here we go. It's a nice sunny day. It was really dark for a while.
Tomato.
Yeah, we've got our garden going. Let's see if Dave is moving around. All right. What is outside of your window? Sunshine. We wanted to show you what came out of our garden. We have a big cucumber and we have a little cucumber. And then we had a whole bunch more, but we come up and ate them, and they were delicious. Mm-hmm. So we're finally starting to get some fruit, which is exciting, and vegetables. We've also noticed tomatoes are growing, but they're still green. And we don't have peppers growing yet, but they're coming. We also have apples that are showing up, and our squash isn't doing anything yet, but there's still
And our
time.
rhubarb.
Oh, our rhubarb is looking very good. So we are very thankful for our little garden. Kathy Schumann said she saw a tiny frog on her deck this morning. I love frogs, and I love toads. They're so cute. So, Amelia, can we settle down the running now? Because that would help me be able to do this show in a way where I'm not going to be as distracted. So, all right. Well, today, like I said, we're going to be learning about protests. I don't know if any of you got to see my protest video, but I will be singing that song again later on today. So that will be good. Let's see. Gramps says that he sees one of his cats eating a dead mouse. Isn't that nice? Such a nice view. I'm sure Gigi, our cat, would like to catch mice. But, all right. So the first thing I want to talk about is, let's find it in the Bible.
Yes.
We are going to be staying in Exodus because we're talking about Moses. And last week we learned about the 10 plagues that occurred when Pharaoh did not listen to Moses. When Moses said, you got to let my people go and worship their God out of Egypt. And Pharaoh said, nope, I don't want to let you go. And Finally, after a bunch of plagues, Pharaoh said, okay, get out of here. Go. And it was actually around this time that the first Passover, or the story of the Passover happened. I'm in Exodus, which is the second book in the Old Testament. And I'm moving over to chapter 12, verse 24. So, Pharaoh, I'm going to summarize it. Pharaoh had finally decided enough is enough, you guys can go. And so God instructed Moses and his brother Aaron, you have to leave now at night. We're going to grab our bread. We're going to grab our food. We're going to just go off and leave Egypt. And there was a certain amount of people. It was like, now I can't find it, of course. Oh, here it is. 600,000 men on foot alongside children and women, along with livestock. That's a lot of people. So imagine you are in your home and all of a sudden you see all these people, thousands of them, walking along your street, just leaving town, and probably at the same time talking about what they're doing, talking about how God is leading them to go and worship and leave Egypt. Obviously we're not in Egypt, but yeah, that's a lot of people to see going past your house. And that's exactly what happened. Moses and his brother Aaron, kind of like a protest. They weren't, at this point, standing up and saying, this is wrong or this is right. They were saying, we're doing this. We're leaving now. We're not going to wait anymore. And so along with everyone, my dad says 2 to 3 million Israelites or Hebrew people left Egypt in one night. So imagine being an Egyptian and seeing this huge, huge crowd of people. It must have been a big sight. And that's kind of a powerful thing to see. That probably is a life-changing thing to see. If you're sitting there in your house or whatever and hanging out, and then all of a sudden, all these people are leaving. That's a big shift, a big movement of people. Yes. And they're excited, and there's energy, and they're all on the same cause, right? Mm-hmm. Now, Ava, you remember seeing people outside our house, right?
Yes.
What did that feel like when you saw all those people standing together?
It felt like COVID.
Yeah, we did think COVID, yes. Any other thoughts besides why are we all congregating together?
It's like a sea of people.
Yeah. Was it kind of cool and kind of scary at the same time?
Yes.
Yeah. People are powerful. And then we gather together to say, I don't like this, or this needs to change. There's power in numbers. And so protest is a very powerful thing. And what I love about the protests that we've been a part of is that they've been peaceful, which is a very important thing. Speaking of protests, I think it's time to move over to see what Turt and Bit are up to, because they're talking about some things that they need to see some change in their lives. So can we get my puppeteers set up? And we're going to go to Turt and Bit right now. Here we go. Let's see what they're up to. Oh my goodness. Turt. What is up with Turt? Let's see what's going on. Hey, Turt. Have you seen the book that I was reading this? Geez, is something wrong? You're a mess. Turt, what happened?
Yes, I am a mess. Oh, it's so gross. I went to take a dip in the pond this morning, and as I splashed down into the water, I ran into a bunch of plastic bags.
Oh, ick.
And then I found these open bottles of soda and juice floating towards the bottom of the pond.
Oh, gross.
And then I ran into a soggy sandwich and old potato chips that had started breaking apart into pieces.
Oh, yikes.
And then I saw my duck friend Gertie stuck in some plastic soda holder rings. Ugh, it all made me so furious.
I can understand that.
I mean, there are signs up all over the park that say to throw your trash in the bin and don't leave uneaten food out. But no one is paying attention.
That's it.
What's it?
We need to get people's attention. We need to organize a protest to keep our parks and our natural spots free from litter and garbage.
Well, we could do that, but I don't know.
Don't know about what? It's a perfect idea. People will take notice of a protest, and we could bring about positive change by standing up for and protecting our environment.
But protesting, that sounds kind of scary. People will see us marching, and what if they don't like our message, and what if they get angry?
Well, that's true. A protest brings to light things that we feel are wrong, and some people may not like what we're saying. But should that really stop us? A protest is powerful because people walk together and protest together. Hey, so even if we are nervous, we can remember that we are together in this, and we can encourage each other to be free from our fear.
Well, a clean pond is very important to me. And if you stand with me, I guess I could face my fears.
Great, Turt. Let's call up Billy and George the donkey. And how about you talk to Gertie and the other ducks and see if they want to walk with us? And then I'll call City Hall and let them know that we're planning a clean park march.
Okay, and I'll start working on some signs that we can hold up during our march.
That's a great idea, Turt. This is going to be a wonderful opportunity for us to make change in the world that we live in.
I like that idea.
All right. There we go. Well, I think that the idea of having a clean park march is a really good one. Turt saw a problem with the pond that he was in, and he was disgusted by it, and Bit encouraged him not to just talk about it to her, but bring about some change and see if maybe they can get City Hall involved and get other people involved and walk together and say, this is something that we need to change. So they set up their own clean park march. That was pretty cool. All right. Well, speaking of marches and stuff like that, I thought, I started thinking about why people protest. There's all sorts of different reasons. Why people get together in groups and march together. And one of the reasons that we learned just now with Turt and Bit is that they found that their parks weren't being taken care of. And pollution was becoming a problem. And even though there were signs up, people weren't really listening to the signs. And so they wanted to bring about change. So they decided to march. So I think that we need to all think about what is important to us. What is important that we think that all people deserve and that we think our world needs. Because those are things that we need to hold people accountable for, especially people in leadership positions who have the ability to make laws or to help bring communities together. So I created a list here. My top part is all people deserve. And then I just wrote a list of things that I think that all people deserve in their life. Access to healthcare, a living wage, shelter, to live with dignity, access to education. I'm sure there's way more than that, but those are just some things I thought of. And then at the bottom, I wrote our world needs. And I put a few things like our world needs to be clean and sustainable. We need clean energy. We need clean air. We need to protect the Earth's creatures. We need clean water. Buddy agreed with that one. So I made a list of what people need or deserve and what our world needs or deserves. I want to encourage you all to get out a piece of paper or use your computers or your phones and your notes and think about what you think all people deserve and what you think our world needs. And as you're thinking that through, which is called brainstorming, I'm going to play and sing the song that I wrote yesterday, What is a Protest? So I'm going to sing through that song once, and I'm going to let you guys mull over what you think people deserve in life and what you think our world needs. All right, so You get to work, and I'll get to singing. Eli, can I use this chair? Because I'm going to put my words on it. Thank you. So this song is asking the question, what is a protest? All right. A protest is a way to make your voice heard. A protest is a way to use your words and stand up for something that you believe in, or say to the whole world that was not right. A protest is a way for all to gather, people from all walks of life together. A protest will remind us life's not perfect, but united we have power to change that. Throughout our history we've heard stories of men and women standing up, but not for glory, standing up for the rights of the oppressed, being a voice for those whose voices are being repressed. It doesn't matter how young or old you are, a protest gives everyone the power. It gives all of us a platform to stand and use our voices to help others understand. Awesome. So that kind of answers the question of what a protest is for. Did you all come up with your good lists? I hope so. Because in that list that you created yourself are things that are very important to you, that if you see aren't being given to people or to the earth, there needs to be some change. And there we have it.
And there's some cucumbers.
And there's some cucumbers again. Access to food, very important.
Yes.
All right, now I think it's time. We had a little bit of song, but now we're going to do a little bit of singing and dancing. We are going to sing our Get Up and Move song, and then we're going to sing our Pharaoh song again. All right, so this time I'm going to scoot back again, and we're going to do our singy songs. Get your arms and legs and body ready to move. All right. It's time to get up and move. Get out of your chair. Bring your arms up high and raise them to the sky. Then you bend down low and you touch your toes. Come on, everybody. It's time to move your body. Next we'll act like a chicken and we'll flap, 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 flap our wings. Nice. Then let's act like a bunny and bunny, bunny, bunny hop everywhere.
You make big.
Yeah, there you go. Then we'll go in slow motion like a turtle. It's time to get up and move. Get out of your chair. Bring your arms up high and raise them to the sky. Then bend down low and touch your toes. Come on, everybody. Come on and move your body. Then we'll act like a chicken and flap, 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 flap our wings. Then we'll act like a bit and do some bunny hops.
Good.
Then we'll act like Turt and slow down. Come on, everybody. It's time to move your body. Nice. Now we're going to sing our Pharaoh song. I said a Pharaoh, people go. Oh, yeah, well, the burning bush told me just the other day that I should come on over here, and I should say, got to get my people out of Pharaoh's hand, and I'll lead them over to the promised land. I said, Pharaoh, Pharaoh, let my people go. Yeah, I said, Pharaoh, Pharaoh, let my people go. Yeah, well, of all of God's people, they came to the Red Sea with Pharaoh's army coming after me. I raised my rod and I stuck it in the sand, and all of God's people walked across the dry land. I said, Pharaoh, Pharaoh, let my people go. Yeah, I said, Pharaoh, Pharaoh, let my people go. Yeah. That's a fun song.
Cucumber.
And where we go again. All right, hold on now. I think that Professor Gobbler is going to join us again because he has another wonderful book recommendation. So I'm going to go see if he's ready. Be right back.
Oh, hello. Hello, everybody. Hello out there. I am so glad to see you all. It is me, Professor Gobbler. Hello, lovely little girl. Oh, thank you for the hug. Yes, I love it. Oh, you are so colorful. Oh, I love it. Mwah, 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 mwah. Oh, I love humans. They are so nice. Anyway, please don't. I have a book recommendation for everyone about protesting. I saw that you guys are talking about that today, and I thought it would be so fun for everyone to see the book that I have for you. Would you hold it up, please? This book is called Let the Children March. It is by Monica Clark Robinson and illustrated by Frank Morrison. And it is about the Children's Victory March that happened back in 1963.
So some pictures, ma'am.
Let's look at some of the beautiful pictures. They are gorgeous pictures. Very moving book. It is a wonderful book to talk about how children can make a big difference and bring change.
They aren't beautiful.
Let's look at some of the other pictures then, the ones that are very nice. There are some pictures in there that are hard to see, nothing inappropriate, but they are telling the truth about what happened back in the 60s and about change that children were a part of that made our world better. That's the important thing. This book says no life is perfect, things are bad, but these children stood up and said, we need change. And change was brought to them because of what they chose to do. So, I would recommend reading this with your children. There is lots of good information about the timeline because it is a real historical event. Once again, it is called Let the Children March. And it is by Monica Clark Robinson and illustrated by, what was the name again? Illustrated by Frank Morrison. Very good book. Please don't touch my tongue. Now, you can find that book at any of your bookstores or libraries, or you can buy it on Amazon or any of your online bookstores. Yes. I thank you so much for having me today. Thank you so much for being a part of this, young lady. I'll talk to you later. Goodbye, everyone. Oh, I love squishies.
Oh, Gobbler, he's so fun. I love squishies. Well, everyone, fun times. Thank you, Gobbler. That was a really good book recommendation. Amelia and I actually read it this morning at breakfast, and it was a very powerful book and a very honest book, and very cool how the children came together to make change in their nation. All right. Well, before we do our prayer and our goodbye song, oh, thank you. I love squishies too. I want to remind all the kids out there that we are having our Zoom Kids get together tomorrow at, anyone remember what time?
6 o'clock.
Nope, 4. Don't listen to my children. 4 o'clock. We're going to have our Zoom Kids get together at 4
Mom?
o'clock tomorrow. Shh.
What is?
And we're
What's
going to
the
get
show and
together.
tell?
I don't know. I think maybe the show and tell could be the list that we created, that we just, the change that we want to see and the things that people deserve. We're also going to be playing some fun games, and join us, please. So with that, I'm going to end our time in prayer, and
Wait,
then we're going to sing our
I know
With
what we
You, the
should bring.
goodbye
I
song.
know what we should bring.
What does Amelia want to bring?
Somebody could draw a cut out, Tut and Bit, and then we can bring them at our show and tell.
Oh, yeah. You can draw your own version of Turt and Bit. That's
Or-
a fun idea.
Or Billy the donkey.
Or Billy, or George the donkey, or Daniela, the Romanian brown bear. I think that was her name, Daniela.
No.
No, I don't remember.
No.
All right, I'm going to move you over a little bit so I can scoot back and get to my guitar. But first, we're going to say our word of prayer, so we need to keep our mouths quiet, and we're going to pray together. So, dear Lord, thank you that we can have this time together and talk about things that we want to see in our world. It's never wrong to see change that you want to bring. And I thank you for that reminder. That's something that you want for your people, the ability to say, I want change. I want to see change. We need to work on this, because otherwise we'll never learn or grow as a society. Thank you that we can have these beautiful hot days, help us to stay cool as we move forward into the week, and help us to be good helpers around the house. And all God's children said,
Amen.
All right, now we're going to sing our With You song. I'm going to sing a song now. And here we go. All right. It's been a good day having all of you join us. The clouds are in the sky, but they are not as high as I am. The frogs, they hop and hop, and they never stop like me. I think of all the things I've done and all the things to do. It's so good to be alive. It's so good to be alive with you. One more time. The clouds are in the sky, but they are not as high as I am. The frogs, they hop and hop, and they never stop like me. I think of all the things I've done and all the things to do. It's so good to be alive. It's so good to be alive with you. Woo. I certainly had a nice time hanging out with all of you today. Thank you so much to Ava and Amelia for their help.
Bye,
'cause
Grandma.
They are big helpers.
Bye, Grandma.
We love you all. We
Bye,
hope that you
Grandma.
are well, and we can't wait to see you next time. And until then, peace.
Bye.